Who's your commander?
Good luck.
Equip.
Move to combat.
Resolves.
Now, before you attack
Does
me,
anyone have an answer?
well played.
Good game.
Hello, Commander players. I'm Jumbo Commander, and Dominaria has released a massive amount of legendary creatures. Let's jump into not just this deck tech, but so many coming out. I'm excited to start off with Lyra Dawnbringer. Lyra Dawnbringer is 3 white for a 5/5 legendary angel. She's got flying, she's got first strike and lifelink, and other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. Lyra Dawnbringer is an angel beater. She makes your other angels better. Giving them lifelink is pretty powerful in her own right. This seems so sweet to fit in any angel deck to helm the angelic masses coming towards you. But I have to be a little bit skeptical. Are we just throwing angels in a deck and we're done? How can Lyra really be supported by the other cards? Well, I think the big problems is with ramp and card draw. Those are the same problems that white always had. Except Lyra exacerbates those problems because angels are all like 5, 6, 7 drops. So we really need to pay attention to what cards best support this awesome angel strategy. Also, if Lyra's gonna give all of our angels lifelink, I think we might want to investigate some life gain strategies. But you know what? We're not here to talk about all this other stuff. Let's jump right into Angel Beats. Right here we have the new art for Serra Angel out of Dominaria. Oh, this set is so hype. And of course you can throw your favorite Serra Angel art into this deck, but I'm gonna start off with more angels that pump. Angel of Jubilation, Archangel of Thune, and Angel of Invention. Archangel of Thune also goes really well with this lifelink strategy, giving us many different lifelink triggers. An Angel of Jubilation is going to be interesting because players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or activate abilities. You know your expensive mana base with fetch lands? Yeah, you can't pay life to activate that ability. Hoo-hoo-ha, I love it. By the way, I mentioned Serra Angel and how she would fit in really nicely, but let's talk about the Commander Serra Angel, Herald of the Hosts. Herald of the Hosts is a boring Serra Angel with Myriad, and so it will attack all of your opponents with angels, and guess what? All of them will be pumped and all of them will have lifelink because this goes great with your commander. And of course, these are not the only tokens that we can add to the deck. Decree of Justice, Entreat the Angels, Luminarch Ascension. All of them will pump out angel tokens and really let us go wide. I really like how we're planning to go wide with 4/4 flyers. It's just a little bit over the top. We might need to rein ourselves in a little bit, but not yet. Let's talk about melding creatures. Bruno the Fading Light, Gisela the Broken Blade coming together to make an awesome legendary Eldrazi. But also, Bruno the Fading Light has this recursion, and angels have great recursion. Emiria Shepherd, or as long as you're in mono white, we have Emiria the Sky Ruin. But let's go even bigger. 5 white, 8 CMC for an 8/8 flying, vigilance, indestructible Avacyn, Angel of Hope. And other permanents you control have indestructible. Avacyn is so majestic and powerful among the angels, and as long as we have Avacyn making things indestructible, maybe we'd cast an Austere Command. It looks like there's an angel on that, or a Chroma's Vengeance. A Chroma is an angel we might run. And actually, let's pause for a second. We do need to control the board a little bit, because if we draw a hand and we're filled with 5 drops and 6 drops, the curve's just going to be way off and we're going to find ourselves behind. So we're going to need a few controlling cards to make sure we can catch back up and start deploying a lot of our big awesome angels. Austere Command is great because it can come down even later in the game and kill the small stuff, take out some enchantments. A Chroma's Vengeance can be cycled if we don't need it, but we might actually want to lean towards lower CMC board wipes. But actually, we should stay on flavor and use Descend Upon the Sinful, because if we Descend Upon the Sinful, we can put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield if we have Delirium. Although Descend Upon the Sinful is a non-bow with Avacyn, Angel of Hope, But that doesn't matter because we're going all in on angels. But I kind of digressed a little bit into the supporting strategy. Let's transition from big angel beats and talk about the way angels can kind of help stabilize us. And I think the best ways is to talk about a few angel board wipes. Sunblast Angel. When Sunblast Angel enters the battlefield, destroy all tapped creatures. Or Angel of the Dire Hour. You can flash it in and it exiles all attacking creatures. That's pretty good. But again, 6 mana, 7 mana? Man, maybe we should run Settle the Wreckage. That might be a little bit of a better card that can really absorb a lot of the damage coming at us so that we can get into the late game. And we can look at other angels to try to stabilize us. Angel of Sanctions can take out a key creature. Angel of Serenity can take out 3, that's even better. That's the stabilization we need when we can finally get up to 7 mana. But I'm going to be looking also at the angels with way less CMC. 4 mana angels like Angel of Finality taking out a graveyard, or Linvala Keeper of Silence, another 4 CMC angel, and this is surprisingly mean. You play against Linvala and you get so frustrated realizing the things it shuts off. We're seeing the need for more defensive angels. Archangel of Tithes is incredibly defensive, taxing your opponents for attacking you. And Guardian Seraph is one that I found looking for low drop angels, and it's defensive. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage. Next, I want to talk about Herald of War. Herald of War is so interesting. It's 5 CMC for a 3/3 flyer, but when it attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it makes your angel spells cheaper. Now this could be huge, but this is a little bit of a win more angel. I'm personally going to test it out, but I want to warn you about cards like this, because this is a ramp spell that ramps you on turn 6 when the Herald attacks, and it only ramps you for 1. Granted, if you just keep attacking with the Herald, you could string together some crazy plays. But honestly, this deck doesn't really need to do crazy stuff on turn 8 and 9 and 10. You have awesome angels then. I really think you need plays on turns 2 and 3, which is why I'm going to rely pretty heavily on Marble Diamond, Worn Power Stone. Heck, I like Oketra's Monument. It reduces your white spells by 1 and you get some warriors for chump blocking. And when you can, getting mana ramp in white is huge. Knight of the White Orchid is just so good because this ability doesn't really exist in white. And so I'm going to jam that knight in there and hope I can chump block a little bit so that I can get into the late game. Mana ramp is a key problem for white, and so when I can include mana ramp packages, I'm really interested. That's why I want to talk about an Extraplanar Lens package right now. Extraplanar Lens is 3 mana for an artifact, and when it comes into play, you have to imprint something. Basically, you remove target land you control from the game, so you go down a land instantly when you play Extraplanar Lens. But whenever a land with the same name as the imprinted land card is tapped for mana, it adds 1 more mana to your mana pool of any type that land produced. So if you exile a Plains, then all your Plains will tap for an extra white. But there's a catch to this awesome mana doubler. You might notice it says whenever a land with the same name is tapped for mana, its controller. This is symmetrical, it's not just you. So if you did stick just a basic Plains under the Extraplanar Lens, any opponent that also has a Plains would tap it for 2 white. You don't want to give them the advantage, so the trick is to use a snow-covered Plains. Because it doesn't have to do with the basic land type, it says whenever a land with the same name, and the same name would be snow-covered Plains, not just Plains. That means that your opponents have to be running snow-covered Plains in order to get that extra mana. But guess what? You've built your deck full of snow-covered Plains, so it's a non-issue for you, doubling your mana and making it more difficult for them to double theirs. And snow-covered Plains have interesting synergies. I like scrying sheets. You can look at the top card of your library, and if that card is snow, you can put it into your hand. That means if you've got nothing going on, you can look for that basic snow land, and if you hit, you can put it into your hand. Heck, you could even throw in a Sensei's Divining Chop to try to set this up. Hey, don't turn your nose up at my combo. White needs all the card draw it can get, even if it is 3 mana for the chance of drawing a card. Let's up that chance a little bit by playing more snow cards, like a Darkar Valkyrie, which is an angel, and Cold Steel Heart, which is a 2 mana ramp spell. Oh, this package is so wonderful. Now, I know we've talked a little bit about lands, but let's talk about one more specific land because of how much flavor it has, Seraph Sanctuary. When it enters the battlefield, you gain a life, and whenever an angel enters the battlefield under your control, you gain an additional life. That's right, let's talk a little bit about life gain synergies. You could theoretically be gaining so much life in this deck, like tons of life. Because just imagine if every angel has lifelink. Imagine that stupid Myriad Angel. You might gain 15, 20 life in a single turn. Let's weaponize that life with Aetherflux Reservoir. Or turn it in card draw, something we desperately need with Well of Lost Dreams. Or do you know what would be the best thing we can do with life? Turn it into even more angels. Angelic Accord is the janky all-star of this deck, because let's go all in on our commander, all in on angels, and straight into the red zone for the win. This has been Lyra Dawnbringer. What does this deck look like? It looks like it's chock full of angels, all your favorite angels. Enjoy yourself. What are the pitfalls? Ramp is going to be really hard. Stabilizing the board and giving yourself time to get up to casting those angels. Also, card draw is going to be a real big problem too, because once you've deployed your angels, they could be removed pretty easily, and then suddenly you're out of gas. So you're going to want to pay attention to a lot of role players that can take care of this ramp and card draw strategy. I want to thank you so much for watching this deck tech. Do you know what? There are going to be so many more deck techs from Dominaria. I have so many in the works, so much brewing going on. I'm really excited to hear from all of you in the comments about what your favorite commander is going to be from Dominaria. And also, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you so much, including my new patrons. You guys are the best. And I'm Jumbo Commander, excited to make more Dominaria deck techs. I'll see you all really soon.